And the award for the most improved anything ever is Fostex. And that's not just an award I've given out once this year. I've given it out twice. And you know who the previous one was? Fostex. In fact, all right, so this product is under an embargo. I'm recording it right now. It's in my house. It is April the 18th. And this is when the embargo was supposed to lift, but then they delayed it. But I'm making the video anyway. So if you're watching this live on YouTube, all that shit's been sorted. And if you're a patron, you're probably watching it about 4 days earlier than that. Because no idea when any of this stuff is coming out, and they don't want me to release anything about it. This is the Fostex T60 Mk2. Now, here is the Fostex T60 Mk1. And so you haven't seen this on the channel in a long time because the argon exists. If you don't know, Modhouse, who makes the tungsten, made T50 argons. I have the original T50s, T50 argons. Then there were the T60s that came out, and I'll explain all the bullshit I did to those to try to make them good. But then the T60 argons came out, and those were one of the best headphones ever up until tungsten, and then this was sort of like pushed to the back. And you don't want to know where my argons are because they're not in this table. They're up in Canada because princesspasta.audio exists, and she's starting to sell things that you wanted to demo, amplifiers and things. As I'm like, you got to take these. You got to take these. So here we are on the literal bleeding edge of what's new with the T60 argons. And the first thing I would like to note that even the T50 Mark IVs, which I gave like full fucking thumbs way up in the sky, we've improved from that. Because, all right, look. Now, these new pads will be available. I've been told they were going to be available. They were going to launch when these launched, so these haven't launched, so therefore I don't know when these are coming out. But they are coming. I talked to the president of Fostex, and I got something good to happen. These were lacking a comfort strap. And they had 2 ports in the bottom, but you still had to use one side or the other. It wasn't designed for dual entry. Guess what? Comfort strap built in. It's a heavy, insanely thick vinyl one, but it's there. And we're using Magia. This is the first T-anything Fostex headphone that allows you to use a regular dual entry wire. And guess what? Fostex even sells. I'm not sure. Since the embargo has been lifted and my contact just doesn't have a fucking clue, I don't even know the price of these or what it's going to come with. I have the box, I have a bag, and I have both wires. A balanced 4.4 wire, which is just normal dual entry 3.5. Oh my God, it's amazing. And then a standard 1/4 inch with just an adapter 3.5 wire. And they're nice wires. They're not total crap. They're soft and long and luscious. Good things. Now, the whispers I've heard about price, because I'm going to be guessing here, I've heard somewhere in the $500 range, maybe even $600 range. And I hope that isn't the case, because there's some stiff fucking competition over there. The original ones, these guys, they used to be that the T50s were like $250, $225, $200. And when these came out, they were the luxury wood. And I remember going on and on about the wood and how they didn't need to make it shaped like the original T50s, but they did. And they cut it out of African Madagascar wood. And like, that's fucking insane that they machined all this. But then these were like $350. So if they go from $350 to $500, that could be both time, because it's been pre-COVID. 7 years? 7 years since those? Complete guess. But it could also be inflation and tariffs and everything else is being accounted for. So there's a possibility that these are $500. And I'm going to probably still recommend them. Because here's the thing. Back to the most improved award ever. I put these back together into what I can consider almost original. Obviously, this understated Montreal leather strap, which is massive, is new. And you didn't see it because I had to remove the goddamn things, but I had to find pads for this because the original ones... Hold on. Turn these around. The original, the way I was rocking these was I had these... I don't know if I have them here. think I might have put them in my phone. I might have put them away. But they were these giant 3D printed adapters that had like weird cheese holes in it to try to adjust the sound. And none of it worked. None of it made it sound good. I think I gave these a pass when I gave them their original review. I didn't bother to check. But they were treble sharp, like oof. They were oof sharp and no bass. And that's what the Argons fixed. That's what the organization, the mod house, fixed on these. They became wide and warm and bassy, and the treble was still there, but like controlled. And I haven't thought about the original T60s in forever, because mods never helped them unless you went full Argon. So when they sent these, I was not expecting like this. Here's these, the Mark IVs, the T50 Mark IVs, some of the best things Fostex has ever made. And now we've improved upon that a little bit further. Still biasing to the treble, so it's got a little more detail and clarity than this. And you know what, I'm gonna give this one more second. I have it coming off Valencia, off of this. Are we on pre-out? Oh no, I touched the screen. Go back. I heard the potential in the original T60s. I heard the potential. And that's all I needed to hear was potential. But then I was like, all right, well now mod the fuck out of them because they could be good. So let's just undo. I'm just going to undo that. And these are quite a bit harder to drive than these. Let's ignore them. Oh! So now the new T50 Mark IV, all linked in the description. And yes, I use affiliate links. Because if I use affiliate links to the products I love and the products I hate, then everything is balanced. Someone complains about affiliate links. I'm like, how do you think I bought this house? 2020 and affiliate links was how I did it. And thank you all for supporting the channel on Patreon and Subscribestar as well. But this is so much better than even the 50s or 60s of the previous generations. Like, no matter what generation. First gen, second gen, third gen, no, fourth gen is it. It's a whole new line. Pause this for a second before, that's the general image and resolution test from Chesky Jazz, Audiophile Volume 2. So this is automatically better. And you know what? It doesn't even need Valencia. I'm pimping over here, pimping Valencia, but it doesn't need it because we go straight into that and we put that to phones out and we lower the volume. Well, probably going to need more than 50. But these are not hard to drive. That was the first miracle of the T50 Mark IV. Was they weren't that hard to drive. And they're the same Fostex driver. That's insane. Yeah, they still need about 65, which is normal for technically high, even though it's the middle. And they're so smooth and warm and nice. And, these are great. So now these. Slightly different cup shape. They put the vents on top. They needed to make the bump outs for the dual instead of just having the one single there. Everything else as far as structure looks very similar, except no more you need this wire because you now have dual entry, so you can literally abandon however they were doing this. Fuck that, we're not doing that anymore, just straight in, which is they actually haven't gotten rid of the hole. That's how much they haven't changed the headband, is the hole is still there for passing the wire through. This is set number 00041. LNR indicators here. It says T60rp Mark II there. It has the planar logo here, which is, what's the name of the logo for this thing? I forget what the actual, it's an RP planar. So you still get the same headband, so all the headband mods will still work. It's the same exact system, only, actually, wait, that still does use I thought they changed the screw. See, on the new 4s, it's just a Phillips screw there. On the original 60s, it is like a security. It's a weird, what the fuck is that? Is the star tips called? But like a security star tip, I think, with something in the middle. I can't tell. Either way, I'm sure I have the tool for that. So now that we have dual entryway, and I don't know if they feel lighter. No, they feel about the same. They feel about the same. And I'm going to go on and on about how they didn't need to make the wood cup look like this, but it do. I think this might have been nicer wood. It's hard to tell. I mean, there's so many Civgas and Sendis that are using like nice wood nowadays that I can't tell if this is African Madagascar. It might be something just more normal. But if we put them on, and this is the stock pads, by the way, which is something else that was improved on the originals, and I've tested on this, but these are actually thick enough to not have to worry about it. You still get to hear through them. They kind of have like an Eris amount. Eris now lives here just to show off on this DD Hi-Fi stand. They kind of have an Eris amount of like, they're vented, but only a little hole. So you get like 5 dB down from the average sound outside. And if we break the computer entirely, it now plays the piano solo from Cowboy Bebop. I'm going to set this to off. Set it to off. These headphones. Now we're finally getting to the sound of these headphones because it's just, I'm the worst at this. But these headphones feel like they're expensive. They feel more expensive than even their $2,500 planars. In fact, I have them behind me, the $2,500 Fostex planars, and every time I go to use them, I'm like, damn, I wish I would whip out the JDS Labs and do some editing on the EQ. They really don't have enough bass. Those were a something that was tuned specifically for someone who does not have my sound in mind. My sound, the sound I want from a headphone, always should be bigger and more luscious than you've imagined a headphone could sound. And these are doing that. We have pianos and a big space and the bass response. If I go to my bass test playlist, hold on. What do we got? Juno Reactor, Mind of the Free. There's bass. There's bass in a T-series headphone from Fostex by default without modifications. This is a sound that, you want to know the truth? You want to know how these sound? Ryan doesn't need to mod these. People were asking, because I gave like a couple hints, like, hey, you know, the T60 Mk2's coming out. And everyone's like, oh, is Ryan going to mod them? The Argon Mk2s? And frankly, he would be wasting his time. I'm sure he could do something. Ryan's a fucking magical man, lives in a fucking house in the sky. But these are good. Like real good. Like thick good. Like they don't need anything. I don't even want to change to the other pads, which I do have another set around here somewhere. But the stock pad, with even the stock wire, with the stock headband, even though this is a really thick, like it's strong vinyl. On a normal amplifier, although the RME is not exactly normal. Here, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. Put this on. I keep losing all my Dunu adapters keep disappearing. I'm going to plug that in. We're going to swap over Magia. By the way, Magia, link to my Linktree collabs if you want to get this. Now with the Heart audio adapters, hopefully by the time this video comes out publicly, we would have sorted these out because this set's going to be like $100 and the wire itself is like $180. So it's not cheap, but my God, it does cool things if you sit it properly. Yeah, look, I'm on low gain at noon. All right. Oh, low gain at 1. And there's bass response. And there's width. And no highs hurt me. They're there. I could tell the highs on this set versus that set are a little bit tweaked up. But that was always the dynamic. It was T50 were like neutral tuning. They never were. And then the T60s were like, they're sharp, get in your face things. And now we've continued that, but good. Picture the real deal, honey. This is Basement Jack's Good Luck. Jack's spelled with 2 X's. Let's get on my bass playlist and back to just random flack in the world. Pacific Rim OST, Paganini, which I only have Paganini in my playlist. Do you know why? Do you know? Think about me. Think about Zeos. Why would he have Paganini? Because of the Hunt for Red October, where they said it's Pavarotti, but he was kept correcting them. No, it's Paganini. He's a composer. Pavarotti is a tenor. Anyway, to Paganini. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. What is it? How? This is the best sounding Fostex headphone. Period. I'm looking at you, TH909, and I'm thinking of you, TH900, and even with you sitting here. This should be the improvement. It should be the 50s or 1s, and the 60s are better. And there's never been a fucking true blue fight. It's always been like, well, Fostex are fine as like the craft barbecue sauce base of making your own barbecue sauce. But they've never really stood out on their own. How many, all right, in the comments, how many of you have gotten Fostex headphones and not changed anything? Not the wire, not the pads, not the tuning, nothing. Stock. There will be like 2 of you down there. And if you're down there, tell me what you thought about doing or tell me what you did to change it out. This set fucking slaps by default. And I'm off of the $2,500 ADI 2/4 Pro SE, which I painted red so I could bring it to Chicago and it would be something that stood out. Summertime rendering, by the way. She has a sledgehammer. Trust me. It's Disney Plus, but trust me. I'm on a cheap amp, my linear fucking JDS Labs Atom 2, going not even balanced, even though this isn't technically a balanced amplifier, just uses whatever. Most improved headphone history of headphones. In the history of headphones, no single model has gone from like a Mark 1 to a Mark 2 and improved this fucking hard. Off of Paganini, onto London Grammar. Help me lose my mind. It's so clear and smooth and crystalline, and her voice is just lovely. Could you imagine putting on a Fostex headphone and hearing lovely out of my mouth? And then the bass line kicks in, and I can fucking feel it, and I want to dance. This is amazing. Everyone's like, Zeos, you shill things. I only shill the things worth shilling. If you watch me do a review of a mediocre product, you will fucking know it. Because I'll be like, it's all right, it's good. You know, the wires, nah. I'll be looking for excuses. And I did take a large portion of this video and describe everything about the history of Fostex, but I feel like you need to know why this is so good. I took 7 minutes to explain about, well, it started with this, and it moved to this, and everyone was just fucking mono. This is on its own a perfect product. The packaging is minimalist. It comes with a really nice soft bag. Doesn't even say Fostex on it. Oh, it does. There it is in the corner. Boom. Comes with a nice bag. Comes with a very plain box. Open. Look. That's it. All right? Doesn't have to be fancier than that. Just give me the fucking headphone because I'm going to probably throw this thing away anyway. Unless you keep it. I don't think there was a sleeve on this. If there was, I've completely lost it or ate it. Or maybe they weren't even printed yet because, you know, it gets copy advanced. The new president of Fostex I've met multiple times. And every time I see him, he's excited to show me what's new. All right? I've met presidents of companies before. They always want to talk backroom deals, or they always want to talk about, manufacturing. This guy is just like, look at our drivers. Look at it. Listen to how it sounds. Look, excited. Sound. If you run an audio company and you're not excited about music and sound, get someone else to run your audio company and you just do the back end shit. The man, he is so fucking, I think it's Tanaka. I don't want to make up his name. But these are going to get a thumbnail. I have to go outside. I got to hold it up in the sun because it's a whole nother ball game. You could argue that these two headphones here are some of the best you can buy today. And that's fucking amazing. Not Bear Dynamics, not Sennheiser. I mean, I would put these above most harmonic dyne stuff, and they're usually really Odyssey, maybe MM500s, maybe. I mean, the only way you're going to beat these with a hyphen if you go over 1,000, you get into the Aria Organics, and that was the last model because we're not even close to the fucking Aria Unveiled. We don't want to talk about Unveiled. I prefer the older models too. These are dumb. The wood isn't as pretty as far as that red goes. There's just like more stock, but these are silly fucking. They shouldn't be. They don't make any sense to be this good. I listened to them on the burner rig. I put them on the burner rig, and then I put them back down. I went, no, I must be having a good day or something. Or the coffee's fucking with me. I haven't had coffee, by the way, in like 10 days. I'm trying to quit that shit because I realized I was needing it, and my natural energy is what carries this fucking channel. I just want to keep dancing. Now the question is, hold on. Well, we don't have to swap that. We'll just do do that. They do scale a little bit. I figured this would be the ultimate test for scaling. This being a cheap $130 solid state that's not balanced. This being a $2,500 German crazy son of a bitch that is balanced. And while there is some improvement, it's not enough to be like, well, you absolutely need a hard... Old Fostex, I used to fucking call it the page 11 mod for the Emotiva Bass X. You'd have to run a fucking speaker amp for the old ones, for those guys. Even for the T60 Argon, because no matter what Ryan did to modify them, it never made them easier to drive. These are now easy to drive. You could get a dong. You could run these on a dong. It'll still need like a bit of a dong, or like something like this. Oh, I have you here to review. The clarinet from Death on Ray. Like this will run them. I just don't have a wire to hook it up to my phone right now. It's not Bluetooth. Make it Bluetooth, Death on Ray. People need that stupid convenience. That was one of the things at the booth in Chicago, is I had two children show up, like 10-year-old girls with their father. So dad had the kids for the weekend. And they showed up at my booth, and of course I put Eris on them, and they loved it, because what 10-year-old girl wouldn't love the bassiest headphone on planet Earth? But the first question they asked was, did you make a wireless version? And my heart sank. And I'm like, soon. Maybe not soon. I don't know. We'll see how it goes with tariffs. But that thing's still selling enough that I might be able to convince them to shove some shit in there. You could make these Bluetooth. If these are Bluetooth, I could put the little fucking FIO adapters on them and just stick them to the wood and make these Bluetooth. And they would be completely reasonable to run around in and look like that. Hashtag most improved. Just the overall width and soundstage, and it's not even like a massive change of how they present, like the shape of sound, where it sounds wider or it sounds narrower. It's just everything about the frequency response has been basically fucking fixed. Everything I've ever complained about. The treble was too high in the old ones. The bass was non-existent in the old ones. This is now like, ooh. Give it a little bit more warmth, run that warmth into like the low mids, and then the treble, keep it elevated, but don't hurt me. Done. Yes. I don't know what else, because I yelled at them, like the fact that this was only like a few months ago, and one of my biggest complaints was I had to use a stupid wire, like I use a fucking 4-pole. Actually, is that 4 or 5-pole? 1, 2, 3. 4-pole, 3.5. TRRS cable to get balance into it, which was the same bullshit as the T60, but they didn't even offer that in the previous T50, so it was an improvement. And I was like, all right, I'll deal with it. But now I'm bring this technology, every fucking headphone on earth has a technology, to the T50s, because then that would make them worth 100% their price, because these went up in price too. These were edging above $250 to $300 when they came out, which is what makes me know that this is going to be in the $500 plus range. But I'm still going to recommend them. The only thing that if these are $500 they have to worry about is if you're going for strictly a planar, because these are a planar. And if you're looking for strictly a planar, the Fosse i5 is coming, and it's going to be roughly that same price. And it's a monstrous planar. Like, this could still be used as normal every day and you not look like a complete idiot. i5s are 30% larger than tungsten. They're massive. The pads are an inch thick. But they sound... we'll get to those. I'm going to get to... In fact, if you're watching this publicly, I probably released the review of the Fosse i5 before this, because I don't know when this is coming out, but the i5's coming out at the end of April. So I've been given the go-ahead to release that video, which I still haven't made. So yeah, links to this wherever it shows up, probably Amazon. Here's the buying guide. This is the most important part. If it's $400, you're fucking dumb for not buying it. If it's $500, I understand your pause. I still think it's worth it. If it's $600, wait for a sale. That's it. That's the buying guide. That is the buying guide. I'm not sure if it comes with the standard cable or the balance cable. Technically, it should come with both, but I know Fostex loves to charge extra for cables, so this will probably be extra. I have tried these other pads on it. I haven't swapped them in a while. If you see me using these in a future video, for testing amps or portable DAPs. I might swap to these pads and give you a more full review of that. Wallpaper in the wallpaper hoard, where this is the oldest wallpaper I have. And it doesn't even reach back near to the date and time. Actually, did I ever move it out of the thing? Hold on, let me see something. Nope, she's still in here. I cropped this wallpaper March 29th, 2017. March 29th, 2017. And here, we're about to upload it to Imgur. Because, come on. Did you break? Oh, God, everything's broken. All right, you know what? Oh, there we go. It worked. I don't know how it works. Everything didn't seem broken to me. But yeah. So that is one of the oldest pictures I've ever had. Putting it in the used background so it syncs with Resilio Sync. Because the chain, that's how long. 2017 is, I wonder if I can't ask Alexa. That's probably the only thing older than the original T60s. I'm pretty sure these came out in like 2018. I'm doing the finger thing. 2018, 2019 maybe? Anyway, minimize, back. Yes, links to these, buy them. Again, 400 absolutely a buy, 500 a hold and think, 600 a wait. I don't know if I do that for every video, but my God, Fostex, you've grown so much as a company. It's like someone's working there now who has ears and a head and like a soul and maybe likes audio and wants to change what. This is fantastic news. Any headphone that helps me sell more Magia cables, which please link to that in the description. So I'm done, you're done, she's done, we're done. Patreon and subscribe star do support this channel. $5, $7 a month lets you see reviews early, participate in yard sales, and get to lossless sound demos, which I have to sound demo these. $15 a month gets you in the private behind-the-scenes Telegram chat where you could ask me questions directly. So if you have a setup question or you're doing something you want my answer immediately, if I don't see the comment, or if you're a $5 patron and I don't do the Q&As anymore, then boom, you go in there, I'm there. Every day I answer 20 questions, and if I don't answer it, someone else does, and I critique their answer or explain why they said what they said. It's fantastic. We've got a bunch of other reviewers in there too. Golden Sound's always in there doing these most technical responses that I'm just sitting there like my dumb face, like, sound good. But yeah, Golden's in there, Golden chat too. But yeah, $15 a month puts you in that chat. And once you're in that chat, you're in the lifetime swap meet channel to buy, sell, and trade gear. So if you happen to have one of these and someone who's in that channel hasn't watched this video, you may be able to sell these and take the edge off of whatever the fuck these turn out to cost, because they're worth it. All right, I'm done, you're done, we're done, she's done. I'll see you in the next one.